ATR flight level 360, just kind of a beam, New York City and JFK, cruising in 807 JB, one of my favorite old tails, the barcode. Tartan was really my favorite. We got a screwing tailwind, and we got somebody behind us at about 1,100 feet here. 1,100 downhill. I can see his contrail, but got FSLTL on today. So we are going to do a little training stream for my good friend Max, who is very active on Facebooks in not only the flight sim community but also the model trading community. Max actually helped me get a couple of the models that I have here, so shout out to Max. Max is still learning the Airbus. Some of his pictures when he's been landing in an Airbus, coming in about 180 knots in open descent. I don't know how you do that, but it's all right, buddy. We're going to get you up to speed in the next week or two. So, just getting rid of my ACARS paper, recycle that. We did not need an ADC. I do have the ACARS on auto print. No ADC required for 2555. All right, so we're going to brief up the arrival right now, and what I'm trying to do is get Max to help Max with the FMA. So right now, we are in Mach Alt Cruise Nav. So we're doing good. We're cruising, right? If we go to the performance page, you can see that we're in a managed cruise, cost index 35, which is JetBlue, cruising 325.78 Mach, right? We're 70 miles to top of descent. So we're going to start putting in the numbers here. Our descent will be, we're going to go 0.78/300. Actually, I'm going to do 305 in the descent, right? So 0.78 Mach or 305 knots in the descent. That's pre-select, kind of. We got to get the weather, so let's go over here and get the weather. Actually going to give control over. My head's down, so I'm going to give the first officer control. You have control.
I have control.
So, mute that. I'm going to grab the weather for DC. It should be a fresh weather report. Just want the METAR. Good to go. That'll print out here for us. Now what we're going to do is check the flight plan. I actually want to look at I'm going to look over here at D-ATIS. Info is Alpha 0208. 10 miles, fuel 15,000, broken 25, 19 degrees, 2997. Expect chartered visual procedure, Mount Vernon visual 1, or visual approach to 33. Landing 133, departing 1334. Multiple approaches in effect. Bird activity, do not enter prohibited airspace. Alright, so let's step the flight plan. So we're going to expect the Mount Vernon visual to runway 1. This has probably got the ILS in here. So we're coming in on the Deal 3 arrival. We're going to set up for the LOC 1, but actually we'll fly the visual. I was hoping they were on 19s last night. So let's go over here to star charts. Actually, I need not that one, I need heartbeats. Right. So, Deal 3. I'm going to step the flight plan. So we're coming in Laughlin, billet at 11, Deal 10-280, Yuck at 10, High Tech, and hopefully we'll get the base at High Tech. We'll see what the traffic looks like. There comes the enter destination data. So let's go into plan mode, bring it down to about 20 miles, and we'll put our constraints back on. So Nuck, top of descent, Waterloo, Laughlin, billet at 11,000, Deal at 10-280, Yuck at 10, Tirza -8, High Tech 7, Mighty. We're going to decel and swing back around. We've got the ILS 1 plugged in, but we're going to fly that visual procedure. And then catch and batten on in. Now, for the visual, I am going to set up a 60 ME arc, which should kind of line up with batten. So at batten, we'll come around, right? swing out onto the river and then swing back. You know, just a little swoop-de-doo, right? So we checked the flight plan. We're good there. We're going to go RADNAVs, DCA. DCA.
Traffic.
What do we got? 800 above. Going the other way. Clear of conflict. Alright, DCA, that's good. We're going to do 007. 006. DCA 06. I think there's an ADF in there somewhere, is there? Nope, no ADF. So then I'm going to fix a 5.9 DME arc, or a 6 DME arc. I'm going to go fix info. I'm going to do DCA. I don't think you can do points. I think it's got to be 6. Radius, 6 miles. Yeah. Alright, and then we're going to do one more. We're going to do the button of the runway. So we're going to do KDCA-01. And I'm going to do 10 mile final. So that'll put rings on it for us, right? So we got that. We got RADNAVs. Progress. Let's punch in KDCA-01. Give the report. About 157 miles to run down there. We're expecting 10.1. And the flight plan has us at, if I can find my flight plan, flights off P. We're supposed to land at 9.7, 9740. Swift jet today. Strong winds, 131 knots. Supposed to land 9.7, so we're plus 400. So performance, we're good. We already adjusted our descent. Let's do the approach. Grab the weather right here. Take a sip of my coffee out of my V1 Simulations coffee mug. Highly recommend you get one if he still has them up there. V1 type rated. Coffee, bourbon, jet fuel. Cilantro. Speeder, yuck, yeah, because it's 10,000 feet. Alright, so we're going to go 010 at 8. 19 degrees. And we will do 500 on the barrel for minimums. Visual approach. 19, I got that. And then 29 or 97. 29.97. Okay, so we're set there. Okay, that's perf. Fuel prediction. This is going to give us our landing weight. So we're losing 1,400 pounds. So that's going to be 141.3 for landing. So let's do our landing performance now. Based on 141.3, we'll refresh the METAR, apply the METAR. Good braking. Low auto brake. Check it on low first. 141.3. Enter. So, as you can see, we got a 7,100 foot runway. Low auto brake's not going to do it. We're going to do medium auto brake then, and we're looking at about 5,500 feet. So that's fuel prediction, and then the secondary, I'm going to go ahead and copy the active. And yeah, we should be good on that. Copy the active. We're not going to land any other runway. Okay, we'll take auto brakes medium now. So that's your top hat. That's what we call the top hat. You come across, zoop, 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 right? Looks like a little hat, right? If for some reason we were going to do a flap 3 landing, we'd go up here and get landing flap 3 off the jib whiz. And we'll keep that on captain. Right then. Give a quick announcement. About 15 miles from top of the descent. Quick PA. folks, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. Just about to begin our initial descent into the DC area. Got just about 115 miles to run down to Washington. We'll be coming in from the east and landing to the north. Those of you on the right-hand side should get a pretty good view of the city as we turn, just before we turn the final. Expect to have you on the ground just about 10 to 12. Should be at the gate shortly thereafter, maybe 5 or 12. If you are continuing on down to Fort Lauderdale with us, we do need to ask you to get off the plane, and as we clean it and get it back, we should be turned around and on schedule for our flight down to Lauderdale. Thanks again for choosing JetBlue. Hope you enjoyed the JetBlue experience this morning. Flight attendants, please begin preparing the cabin for a wrap. So that's done. Now we'll do the approach briefing. So we're going to do visual. I'm going to do a decision height of 500 because we need to be stable. If we're not stable for any reason at 500 feet. Also, Phoenix has been doing this lately. Is it? For some reason, it's the transition level keeps coming out at 185. Glad I caught that. Are you ready for the approach briefing?
Go ahead.
Any questions?
No questions.
I have control.
You have control.
And here comes top of descent. And we'll hold that because we got a damn big. Okay, setting 7,000. Deal free, 7,000 feet. Thrust idle descent. Yeah, high tech's at 7. So, thrust idle descent. Flight level 110 magenta, right? See how that's magenta? And you got an altitude that's magenta there, right? He's setting my shit right now, and I don't like it. Alright, 7,000. So, 7,000's in there. We're descending via the deal 3, runway 1, right? Excuse me. So, descending via the deal 3. Who the hell's 8,600 feet behind and below us? Is he going on DC too? Or is he coming out of Philly? Is it American? Anyways. And you can see, right? So what's going on up here right now? So we have our 500-foot minimum in there. Let's see if I can fucking mission on. I'm telling you. Make sure that shit's on mute. If I had $1 for every time my first officer oversped the flaps on me, I'd be fucking loaded. So what's going on up here, right? So we're thrust idle. We're in a managed descent, right? Not an open descent, where it's going to respect the constraints, right? And you can see that it's going to respect the constraints on here at flight level or 11,000 feet, right? So the Airbus, and we're bang on target. So if I bring up the prog page, you can see we're 5 feet above target right now. You can see the little, you can see here the green donut is right here, right? If we got high or low, the donut would go accordingly, right? If we were high, the donuts, see, now we're 21 feet high. But the Airbus is smart, right? It knows it needs to respect 11,000 feet, right? And it's going to allow itself, the Fifi, my beloved Airbus, she's going to allow herself to speed up or slow down within this band right here, right? That's the top of the band, bottom of the band. The target speed's 300, right? When it gets to the bottom of this band, it will apply thrust, and you'll see this turn into speed or Mach if you're up high, right? When it gets to the top of the band, it's going to ask you for more drag, right? Which we're not going to get with this headwind, but that's how that's how a managed descent works. You can, the Airbus will speed up or slow down within the confines of this band. Now, if we were in open descent, that's like flight level change on a Boeing, right? So if I pulled this, right, if I pulled it, we would go into open descent, and then we could use speed brakes to get down a little faster. What is making this flash? Is it the bats in traffic? It was. Still big. Navigraph Charts has a really badass update. I want to see if I can get us a, what's it called? Flight Force, what's up, buddy? Yeah, it doesn't work like the FS Labs did. I hope they put that in there at some point. Like FS Labs, I could come off the mic here and then press the PA button. It would record like a little MP3 or OGG or something like that. And then you could, as soon as I release the button, you could come back in the cabin and hear it. So pretty calm out there. I'm going to do belts at 18,000. You can see we got sharks out there on the wing. Which, by the way, JetBlue does not have the strobe blockers on the 20s. That's a strobe blocker right there to block it from the pilots. And the FS Labs actually, it modeled that perfectly. I'll be interested to see what the FS Labs looks like. I don't know that I'm gonna buy it, I guess. I'm not sure yet. They're a little, how do I say this? You know, like, I've always loved FS Labs, right? But they're literally, I am streaming, right? Why is this not out there? I'm gonna close YouTube, open it back up. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So I was recording the landings, but I'm not going to because I'm doing a through flight. Yeah, FS Labs is way late to the game. Disappointed. Like, I would have thought they would have come with a Neo with both engine models, right? A Neo LR, Neo XLR. If they had come out with that, then yeah, it's an insta buy, right? But they're giving us a 321. Like, you got multiple. I mean, Phoenix is the king of MSFS currently, right? And everybody knows. Like, I was a never MSFS guy. Well, here I am, right? My Sklarky still is a little jacked up. I had some, you know, knock wood. I've had some issues with Phoenix, but at the end of the day, Phoenix, I installed MSFS the day the Phoenix came out just to try it out, right? And I was back and forth. I was still like probably 90% P3D, 10% flight sim, MSFS, right? I just uninstalled P3D the other day. Everything but the I uninstalled everything but the Concorde. Alright, coming up on 18K. FS Labs 2, right? Q&A.
2997. Set. Passing 17,300. Now.
Checks. Approach checklist. Approach checklist.
Barrow ref.
2997 set.
2997. Set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
500 feet set.
Auto brake.
Medium armed.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
I've flown this route many a time, sitting in on a 190, enjoying the view right about here. I actually got my A321. This is my A321 view. And 320, if I was on this side for 5, this would be about 5A on a 320. Hey, little turbulences. So anyways, oh yeah, I was a huge FS Labs guy. Like, FS Labs, like, that's where I bought this FCU for. It was FS Labs. But you know, I did a flight in P3D. I can't even remember the last time I did, to be honest with you. Once Phoenix really got rolling, they just kept, you know, Phoenix, they continually improve. They don't hide anything from you. They don't disappear. They're like, hey, we're working on this, right? And then they kind of surprise and delight when they come out with it. You know what I mean? So, see, we just dived. So it's going to respect that constraint, but she's doing a little diving, and we're at the top of the band. Surprised it's not asking me for some drag. It will be here once we get into deal. I would imagine this guy's coming behind us. Yeah, I mean, Jesus, they were working on an A330 supposedly too for P3D, and then just nothing for a year. That Concorde, if I could get P3D to not do a terrain.dll crash in the middle of the ocean for me and get more than a slideshow landing at JFK or Heathrow. Heathrow was a little bit better. You know, hot damn, man, like the Concorde was effing amazing. It was so good. 11,000 magenta. Now watch this. If it hits, nope, speed descent. So now it's saying 10,000 constrained, right? Speed is boxed, which that's to draw your attention to the FMA, right? We're a little bit below path. Whenever you're below path, if you're at a high speed, it will descend at 1,000 feet. If you're at 250 knots, it'll descend at 500 feet per minute until it hits. Now you can see we're going to hit that alt constraint. So watch this. It's going to go into a different FMA here in a second. Excuse me. So it's going to go into speed alt constraint star, speed alt constraint, and then descent will go alt star, speed alt star, descent blue. I'm surprised it didn't give me the constraint. I'm going to go ahead and pull alt constraint, descent blue. We'll keep the 305 knots up till we need 280. And I'm going to leave the so what I just did there, drop the range down, and I put my LS on because we will be tracking the, if you look at the chart, we will be tracking in from Katrin, right? It's actually the DCA 185 radio. Speed limit exceeded, yeah, I know. Let's do, can we go back into the rad navs real quick. It's 185 radio. So, if old school, if you were flying like a 727 or something like that, you'd go into VOR mode, catch the VOR, and track that 185 radial inbound. So 185 radials that way, but you track it inbound this way. 25 about 50 miles out. Now you can see the donuts just kind of hanging out right there. We're 412 feet low. You're going to see that donut start coming down now. On some birds, I think it's a magenta donut. It's actually like a circle. It might be the honey. I think this is a Honeywell box. I'm not sure actually. FS Labs was a Smith Thales box, or a Thales aerospace box. Give him a call in the back. Bring it back to 280 now. Now on the screen here, right? That magenta right there, that's a slowdown point. All right, 3900 descending in front of us. These are got to be departures from DC. So descent's armed. Slowing up to 280 because we're level at 10. 7,000's in there. Descent blue. Blue is armed under FMA. Here comes the speed. Cabin's ready for landing. Hello. Thank you. Alright, localizers are live. So we're going to do some hand flying. It's going to be a visual approach, so it's going to be flight directors off, bird on. Once we descend out of 10. And this is probably, if you look at this, this is probably why, right, these planes beneath us, that is probably why well, 7,000. Could be something off of Andrews Air Force Base, which is dead ahead of us. Wicked sinus thing going on for a while. So apologies if I go get the sniffles on you. 41, so they're at like 6,000 feet behind us. What the hell is that? Southwest going up BWI, I'm sure. Actually, yeah, he's probably going in for BWI. They got a pretty cool approach there, but I'm an Airbus guy. So on the downwind, sometime after high tech, I'm going to take over and I'm going to hand fly it. When my friend flew me back on the Neo from London, you can hear it's an A321 autopilot. You can hear when they pop it off. You can also hear it on the. Okay, we're going to go manage speed now. This descent's going to be armed here to get down below 8,000. And I'm going to get the mini speed brakes out. Thrust idle descent, 7,000 blue. CQ-75's busy up there. So I'm going to take it after tears up. Switch over to the mountain visuals. Procedure. Approach. Yeah, no, I can't put that in there. Okay. Alright, so to the chart. And burn into 1. Thrust idle. And Fifi will take. Let me get the nice view of the city on this side now. Andrews, there's the city, nicely loaded in. Next to Drew's Wiki, Air Force, or VC-25Bs. It's not Air Force One, it was the El Presidente's in it. So you can see Katrin's about
1,000 to go.
Checks. Right about here, ATC would say JBU2555, descend and maintain 4,000. Down to 4,000. Now we're in thrust idle, open descent. And we're gonna come bombing in here, as a matter of fact. So I'm gonna use speed brake to get us down to 4 pretty early. What we don't want to do. Oh, they took high tech off the approach. So on one of the other one of the other ones, there's a. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. 2555 descend and maintain 2,500. 2,500 blue, open descent. Get some boards out. So this lightning bolt's where we're going to catch the predicted descent path. Oh, wait. Wind shear. Down off. Whoa. Hey now. Go into nav. Make sure we got an over-the-shoulder view. They would say flag present heading vector for sequence, right? Now we're going to overfly the deceleration waypoint at Mighty, and we're going to go into approach mode. So you're going to watch descent turn into approach. Now you can see the airplane is targeting 139 knots, but I'm going to keep it at 250 for now with the speed brakes. This wind's out of control. And there's our sequence. And it's pretty cool when it's hazy like this in DC. You can see the planes next to you, kind of bouncing in. All right, let's slow her up. Speed 210. Fly at 270, JBU2555. Jesus. Oh. Iffy next, minus 10.
1,000 to go.
Checks, flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Alright, 280. Traffic to follow is 6.5 in front of you. Clean up the box. I'm going to go direct Katrin with the radial. Insert. Pull back
Checked.
off the nav. We're going to go 190 now. Heading 340. My aircraft. I was trying not to level.
Checked.
River's at your 12 o'clock and 5 miles, call it in sight. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
And we got a problem here. I got trapped. Right? Until we hit 2,500, it's going to leave that thrust at idle. Even though I have the speed pull to 190. I'm going to pull for 180. Speed out star.
Radar altimeter alive.
Checks. Wow, this wind's out of control. So once we are on the river, I'm going to go to track FPA. Out.
Checked.
Something you can also, so actually he's breaking off for the visual, you can see. You can see Q75 looks like a parking lot up there. So we're drifting into the localizer. But, there's that radial we're trying to chase, 185 radial inbound. And you can see one departure coming off. But we are fully visual at the airport. We have the traffic preceding us in sight. So it says follow the localizer, which we can do. Load star.
Checked.
It's a 5.9 DME. Plan on 3,000 for the go. Cancel that caution. Jeez. Louise. Load.
Checked.
While fighting it today, huh? Okay, traffic in front's 5 miles in front. Slow him to his landing speed. Watching the glide come in. Might as well. Glide blue. Glide slope blue.
Checked.
Glide slope star.
Checked.
Okay. Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
This is where you feel like you're hanging in midair on an Airbus. Pointing down, bleeding off all that speed. Feels like you're almost getting thrown forward in the straps. Now, at Baden, we're going to go landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Okay, I'm going to follow the river now. We're going to go.
Checked.
Flight director's off. Bird on. And then runway track is set. So we're going to break out here at Baden. Roll her on out over the river. Still following the glide slope. Touch low. Oh, just going to follow that river on out. Excuse me. Clear to land.
$1,000.
Stabilized.
$1,000.
Ease it back out over this way just a touch. And then swing her on in.
Bank.
Approaching 0, 1.
Okay, on the pappies, into the wind. Boom.
Checked. 100 above.
100 above.
Make sure G's is good to go. Drifting high.
500.
Minimums.
Minimum.
Continue.
Checked.
Runway is clear. Southwest on
400.
taxi.
$300.
Working it down, working it down.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
That's how you do that.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. $70 knots.
Manual braking. Well, the catch at DC was always
Approaching 3-3.
let's see, 28, right? Yep. 26. Vicky to Juliet. 114 on the blocks to here. Briefly, we'll say we're waiting for our gate because it's DC. Lights. Go. So I'm going to redispatch this bad boy. That is not a United gate there. United be on the other side. Where are we going to? 28? I haven't been in here in forever. Let's say 30 or 28. You said 28, right? Yeah, 20. Waiting on that APU. Taxi lights off. Don't want to blind the guys on the ramp. Okay, remember the nose wheels back here, right? I think they put safe docks on these things. I gotta get a better GSX profile. Wait, are we going to 26? Did I say 26? Oops. Yeah. Yeah, he's waving at me at 26. Alright. 28 to 26. Oopsie. After landing checklist.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist completed.
Who put an A320 on gate 24? Okay, Marshall is there. About a 90-second clock there for the APU lead. Parking brake set. It's 125 on the block. And another 30, another 5 seconds for the APU because it's already been about a minute. Okay, engines. Belts, beacon. Keyboard. Okay, we need sim brief. Dispatch system. Alright, we're gonna take this down to. If anybody, oh, alright, whoever's still watching, comment in the chat. Lauderdale or West Palm? Dealer's choice. We got about 15 seconds because I want to rerun this. It's good. I'm curious to see how we're doing over here. We'll do that anyways. Just to be on the safe side. Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Set.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Well, that's exactly what we're supposed to have for fuel. Is it 96 or 91? 94. $97. Not bad. This is a turn, so we'll leave the APU running. 3640. The burn was supposed to be 6716, and we wound up burning. I'll clear 3660. $7,100. All right. That includes the taxes, so that's good. All right. Right then. Redispatch. Oh, let's see what the data says. Tens. Oh, we could do a visual 10 left, 10 right. Alrighty then. Let's see. DCA, PBI. That is, oh, sorry, FL. 579. So, we're gonna do JBU 579. KBOS-KDCA-KFLL. Let's see what the wind looks like for routing. Yeah, I think we're gonna want to go that way. Or actually, sorry, KFLL. And we'll off the blocks at 35. Taking an A320-232, which is 807 JB, which I also had in FS Labs. And we're going to do a cost index of 40 this time, because we ain't paying for the gas. Do we need an alternate? 110 at 10. Money visibility, variable 4. Nope, we do not need an alternate. We're going to load her up. Full packs, auto freight, and we'll give it about 30 minutes of contingency fuel, just in case. And 81 scuba ears, cheese, Yankee 291 magic cooler. Weather, okay, I need to be looking for. No, the weather's all where I'm friggin' traveling tomorrow. Oh, shit. Well, that's gonna suck. That looks good. Oh, interesting. Yep, so out over the Yankee route. And I'll hit generate. So we'll just leave the APU running. Don't need that. It's not a crew change, so I don't believe we gotta do. I don't think we gotta do a redo there. And we'll tell him, let's start setting up. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
Take a look real quick at Volanta while they're doing their thing. Little wobbly on the base. I had a lot of speed on. Bang on the money. Look at where that was. 219 and 129. That's not what G said. 121. All right, let's see what approach report says. Approach report survey says 219. 121. I'm curious about this G's. 219, pitch 5, bank 0, and 135, I believe, was our ref. So, flew it down nicely, just as we caught the glide. For some reason, I always seem to drift high, right at 500 feet. And look at that, bang on the aim. Couldn't ask for better there. Big flare command. And you can actually see, zoom in and out a little bit, came out, swung it over the river, and back on in. Beauteous. I don't know what that did. I wonder about that. Alright. So let's go ahead and we'll import the new flight. Import next. 32 minutes. I believe. Once that's done, let's get down here. We'll do the ATSU. AOC, flight init. I'll reinitialize. Okay, we're 579 now. In it. Alright, so we're going to do diaphragms. So we did data page, right? Okay, clear. Cruising level on this next flight. That's it? What's going on here, Burn? No, I want to take off higher weight than that. Oh, well, too late now. We are cruising on the next one. 36. 36. So, 36,000 feet. And our briefing preview, the paperwork will tell us that the temperature up there is minus 48. No, thank you. But I do want to do this. There it is. And now we will go just exporting and refueling. Thank you. So 360 and minus 48, which is plus 9 icy beef. 40 cost index for JetBlue 579. 579. No alternate. So you go data, init. Then we're going to go flight plan. So we know we're coming off runway 1. Amy. Amy 1 to scuba. Insert that. And then direct ears. Then cheese. Down wide 291 to Magic, which used to be, Magic used to be the, that used to be on the West Palm arrival. And then Lauderdale, we will plan for 10 right on the CUDA 3 arrival off of, IBID and Magic. IBID and Magic used to both be on the arrival, the fives, or that's the West Palm. They would be, IBID and Magic were going to West Palm, but they readjusted all the routes. And then approach via, no, we're just going to do no via. They'd probably be a visual anyways. Alright, so then we want RadNavs. DCA, that's correct. We can leave those in there. So DIF, right? So you start D, init A, flight plan, come back, init, you're going to do init B, but I always do the wind right there, right? So you put the flight plan. So it's DI, init A, F, flight plan, R, right? Back to init to do init B. And I happen to have a load sheet from the Aircard printer right here. which says that we are JetBlue 579 on the 18th with a zero fuel weight at 131.1 32.0 on a zero fuel weight, and we're going to be blocking in 17.5 on the fuel. I really wanted to take off higher than, like, I wanted to take off like 170 or 160,000 pounds, but they still haven't updated the weights on these. What was I looking for over here? Oh, the release. By the way, I use United 2018 on the recommendation alongside Sim. Highly recommend. So Trop's interpolated for us. So we're looking 10.7 for the trip. 45-minute reserve is going to be 3.5. I'm punching that in. We'll take a look at this in a second. Shows 47. We get 30 minutes of contingency. Tax is going to be 500. And this is the important part. So it's showing an hour and 56 to Lauderdale, right? The block shows 2:03. We show an hour and 56 and 10.7. So an extra 7 minutes is 700 pounds of fuel, I guess. 2:03. So it's adjusting. This will get more accurate as time goes by, right? So DIFRI and it B, right? P for performances. So come over here. Do that. And do that. There we go. Sync preliminary packs on. Only one. Simplified weather. Flexing 59. 3 down, 3. Man, this thing climbs like a rocket ship. I'm gonna actually do. Let me see what we do. Yeah, see, I wanted to take off way heavier than that, but we can live with flex 58, 29, 31, 35, 2 down, 0.3, 18, and we will send that to the McDo. 29, 31, 35, 2 down, 0.3, flexing 58. Why is that doing that? It's very strange. All right. So 2,000 to refuel. Check the wheels. Brakes are still a little warm. All right. Let's go ahead. We will brief Z. Let's step the flight plan first. So, RevG. Oh, one more thing. Secondary. We're going to copy the active, right? We are going to be 6,000 pounds too heavy to return here on takeoff. So what I'm going to do is, if we have a problem on takeoff, I'm going to laterally revise at Gooser. Right, coming around Gooser, right? This is the diaphragms. D-I, init A, right? F-R-I, the other side of init, B, right? Performance secondary, right? So I'm going to revise this at Gooser and say we're going to go to BWI. If we have a problem, we'll go to BWI. And let me just grab the ATIS for Baltimore Washington International Airport. 3207. Visual approach 33 left. And we need the longest runway they have. 96. Let's take a look, see. Yeah, so we can just track right on over. Yeah, we can go Gooser, Cools, right? So if I go back to the secondary to step it for you, right? No. There you go. So if I go in here, right? Gooser, we'll figure out whatever we got to figure out over here, and then shoot into Baltimore. All right, that's done. So the box is done. pending other things. I don't know why that is doing that. Let's take a look at the departure chart. Alright, and there we are. So it's Revgi 220 max, 1500 or above, past the old Pentagon. Beagle, Kovto, Alex, Dove, 250 max, above 4000, Gooser. Actually, I might like to change the runway here. Can we live bravely? Let's try something. Let's see what 4 looks like. Let's go optimum, off, calculate. Hey, look at that. We're right in it for 4. Yes, we're doing 4. All right, I'm gonna switch runways now. Would V1 would approve because it's Toga. All right, so we're gonna redo our flight plan that we take off runway 4, and we'll just say it's due to that's 4, right? Let's see. 4. 3-3 be the other way. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. All right. Yoga. All right, so it's still the Amy 1 to Scoob. Insert. Checking takeoff data, right? We are gonna go calculate. Send to McDo. 3 down, 0.3, 20, 24, 29, yoga. 20, 24, 29, and we will clear that out. We're good there. We're fueled up, so we will go seatbelts on. And fuel pumps. Actually, I did that backwards, but checking that the fuel's balanced. There we go. Fuel's balanced, pumps on, seatbelts on. How we doing on the wheels? They're alright. They'll be alright. Alright. We're going to wait for that final load sheet, make sure we're not 2,000 pounds heavier. So it is going to be config 320, 24, 29, normal thrust, and packs off, right? Alright, gonna nuke my coffee, I shall return. And I dropped my phone. And I can do laundry while we're on this flight. should be loaded up. Let's just rebrief. Let's get a finalized load sheet, which we do have. There we go. So, this is in compliance with edition number 1. Let's check here. F131-2, so we're going to go back into a knit real quick. And remember, we are departing runway 4. Confirm the data. Oh, no. No, not that. We'll be rerunning that. So we're 131.2. And 32, nothing. 17.5 on the block. But we are burning up some APU. Status Cat 2's. Mac Taos 29.9. Good to go. All right. Just rerun the takeoff numbers here real quick. And we'll full send. 2994 now. Magic B key. Calculate max off. Total required. 3 down 3, 20, 20, 4, 20, 17, 2. All right. Do this. Config 3, normal thrust complacency. It's going to be 04. Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, once he says no questions, you go like this, and you put on constraints. So after you do the departure brief, you want to put on your flight director and your constraints and your VORs, right? All right. And then we want to check the top altitude on the set. I think it's 19,000. So it's 5,000 feet. All right, so 4, 5. There we go. 2, 3, right to the mode. The before start checklist. Before start checklist.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
V1 120, VR 124, V2 129, Toga. Toga.
V1 1 2 0 VR 1 2 4 V2 1 2 9 Windows.
Closed.
Beacon.
On.
Before start checklist completed.
Pull the jetway. Sets here. Pushback. Okay, brakes released. Off the blocks at 40. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn the cabin lights down. So I have sat here while they started engines before. Can you hear the packs come down? Starting engine 1.
Okay.
Okay, you can stop now. Brake set, you're clear to disconnect. Starting engine 2.
Okay. Juliet Papa Bravo Zone. Okay, number 2 is ready. Heat shut. And down port oil and so on. After start checklist. Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
30% set. 30% set. 30% set.
Rudder trim.
Neutral.
After start checklist completed.
Flight control check.
Ready. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Brake check.
Pressure 0.
JBU2555, taxi spot 2 with Bravo. JBU2579, taxi Juliet Papa Bravo Zulu. Alright, come down here. Juliet Papa Bravo Zulu. Delta should wait for us, I think. He's probably coming in here. You gonna go right through us? Yeah, he is. Turn! Hey. Well, he doesn't know how to drive. Wipers off. So we are taking runway 4 due to ATC. underneath what we need to depart runway 4, which is, by the way, 5,000 feet long. It's about the smallest for an A320. Like if we'd be limited at, what is it, 150,000 pounds? 150,200 takeoff performance limit for this runway. So, we've got flight instruments are supposed to be checked out. The old checklist I like better because it's more models to the JetBlue checklist, but that's okay. We're going to do our taxi checklist now. Taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 3.
Config 3. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Okay. Flight instruments are supposed to be on there, right? And for the flight instrument check, you would say, and Bravo's at the penalty box. So for that, you'd say, I got 1 FD2, climb nav blue, 5,000 blue, 120 blue, 129 magenta, which that's your magenta speed, right? Coming around here, over to Bravo. Apparently they think they can just put everything on the penalty box. That should be all Southwest. I have sat many an hour in this penalty box. About 3 hours of my life have been spent here in ye old penalty box, hold bay, with the engine shut down. That was the one time we had a real bad Karen on the plane and we all shamed her. We were like, lady, this plane's going to Boston with you or without you. We'd rather not go back to the gate. Like one dude was like, lady, shut up, and then I just chimed in. It was pretty awesome. We shut up the Karen. It was cool. It was good. It was a good time. It was funny as fuck too. Flight attendants were rolling. All right. Now, what we've got here is I'm going to do a static full power takeoff, almost like John Wayne. And we need to be sure, as we hold short. Why is my gas not working? Para. Oh, it's on threat. Oh. You know, make sure the landing traffic is coming in, even though he's got no gear. Embraer. Lineup checklist. Lineup checklist.
Takeoff runway.
04 confirmed.
Takeoff runway confirmed. Runway 04 confirmed. Approach path clear of traffic. TCAS.
TARA.
Packs 1 and 2.
On.
Lineup checklist completed.
So we got 1 on a 5-mile final.
Approaching 04.
And he's turned the packs off. And they do push it here at DC, so he's going to be 2.5-mile final here.
On runway 04. 4,800 feet remaining.
So we're going to wait for that first guy to land over the shoulder here. Pop the parking brake for a second here. You can see another one on the arrival come in. There he is. Who should we get? We need time to get out of here. Ready?
Ready.
Spool them up. 1.05 EPR. Stay low. Take off. Take off.
Check.
Oh shit. Mantoga SRS auto thrust blue.
Checked. Thrust set.
Checks.
100 knots.
Power set.
V1. Rotate.
Whee!
Positive climb.
Gear up. Nav.
Gear up.
Gears up, lights out. Let's get a positive speed trend, get into the turn here.
Packs are on.
Thrust climb, climb, auto thrust. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
$1,000 is usually what they give you. Turbulence in the capital. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
There we are. Lights out. EP1. Flight level 360 is blue. Clear rad nav.
Okay.
to Lauderdale. Is it Boston? Last time I did Boston, was it DC? Would have been a 3/8 flight, I think. So that's standard.
Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 185. Now,
Checks. I like to preset where I'm going. Beautiful. So we're right now about 200 pounds to the good on our fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'll say JetBlue 579 direct cheese. So I'm going to put in cheese, and I'll put in the beams. Boop. Just twisting the right way. See, where's the top climb? Scoob plus 83. So it actually looks pretty good. 8160. That's close. That's actually, that would have been for a runway 1 takeoff. So pretty close. It's actually more like Colin plus 83. And we'll go ahead and put the belts off. Get you guys enjoying the view. What do we want? Let's do hashtag up view. And we'll do a little cabin service. Still with no lights though. Alrighty then.
check.
Duck. Hashtag hub view.
1,000 to go.
Uh-oh. Time to descend and land. So we gotta grab the weather for Fort Lauderdale. They're looking for an ADC for 5 minutes too. Let's get rid of that 280 at Birdman. $110 right down the pike. $26. Beautiful Floridian day. And backing out of this, back into this. 10 right. $264. Barrel. Come up here. Tell him we are doing a ILS 264. Are you ready for the approach briefing?
Go ahead.
Any questions?
No questions.
I have control.
You have control.
Go. It's all set. And there's secondary 10 left. Copy active. We'll do a sidestep. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reset this. Bottom of the CUDA is 8,000. And we are descending by thrust settle descent. Some change. What I think I'm going to do is ILS 10 left, but I'm going to do we are going to do we will redirect bump. Sorry, redirect Birdman. And now we'll go back into the, oh boy. We need some speed brake. And we need to get rid of that 280 at Birdman. And we're diving. We are diving. This actually happened. This happened to me going into Lauderdale. And this is what it looked like. Actually, no. This is what it looked like. That's when I got nervous. There's the path. Pulling some G's right now. rogue first officer. You can see him going into Miami, coming over on the other tracks. Don't see him. So we're setting up for 10 left, and then in the secondary, I'm going to go visual 10 right. No vine, no star, no nothing. Just a center fix. About a 5 mile final. Just check that real quick. So inside of Novi. Sure would be nice to have that Concorde in. I think we're supposed to have that's 6.3. $299.8. $2,998 set. Cross title.
2,998 set. Passing 17,400. Now
Checked. Approach checklist. Approach checklist.
Barrow ref.
2,998 set.
2,998 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Are you sure about that? Minimum.
Side step action here. .207 feet set.
Auto brake.
Low armed.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
Weehoo, and we'll be off of
Checked.
at WeHo would be off of West Palm right about now. I hate it when it's like, there you go. West Palm Beach is like, that's West Palm right there. It's like when I'm like a little kid when I get to this part. Looking out the window, seeing Florida peeking out at me. Leaving the cold, which I can't seem to get rid of. This silence crap.
Checked. Checked.
Cross title. Speed. Or drag. Speed. Cross title. Grief. About 250 high on the path right now. Any speed brakes coming. Boca inlet there. Just about. Yeah, Boca inlet should be right about there. Kuda's pretty much a bean Boca. Tell Boca Vista where Seinfeld's boys live. Keeps coming in and out.
1,000 to go.
Checks. Get down. Speed. Side alt descent, out blue. Speed out start. So technically we're over Cuda. We didn't bust it. I think it's 200 feet. We can get 200 feet. I have to go ask V1 that. Speed out start. Oh, the ATC would say descend 5,000. Trust I don't open this. Cloud turbulences. Oh, so that's a difference. That will be 5,000 crossing the coast. Crossing the coast. Cloud? Yes, indeed.
$1,000 to go.
Checks. Crossing the coast to the clouds. There we go. I think that is it. Trust that. Wish there was like an update current view button. Second favorite part. Sorry, guys. Make sure it's the right one. 797. It's like my second favorite part. FXE up there, maybe from the coastal. Some stuff lining up for Miami. Speed out. Right about here, it's a JetBlue 579 to center maintain 3,000. Now from 5 to 3. We're going to set it up for a late runway switch. JBU 579, speed 210. JBU 579, flight present, heading vector for fun. Flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1. $1,000 to go.
Checks. Set a speed, which is 188. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Let's see.
Checked.
Mark the clock for 30 seconds. Speed out start.
Checked.
Flight 220. Flight 190. Whoa!
Checked.
Did we just lose it? As soon as I updated the box there. Low blue,
Checked.
low star.
Checked.
Hey, bankrupt A321 on the right side. Right about now, it's JetBlue 579, slowly
Checked.
final approach speed, change runway 10 right. Gear down. We would go.
Checked. Gear down.
Activate secondary. Direct the center fix with the radial. Insert.
Checked.
We're shifting, we're shifting, we're shifting. Flaps 3. Flight director's off, bird on. 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
Oh, love me some
Radar
humidity.
altimeter alive.
And my FO just did me the solid on the raw data. Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no glue.
Landing checklist completed.
And look at that, we're stabilized. Oh, don't you love it all popping in like P3D old school? Shoreline traffic and running too. Okay, I have the pappies.
Sync rate. 1000.
1000.
Checks. Correcting.
Approaching 10, right.
It's all over the place.
500.
That's enough, alright.
$300.
100 above.
Checks.
Minimums.
Continue.
Checked.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Fuck myself.
Drive.
It's probably gonna look like a 400.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel.
Easy to slow down going uphill.
4,000 feet remaining. 3,000
70 knots.
remaining.
And you're braking. Flat. this because I don't like the E gates. Is it the E? I'm gonna go to the G gates. No, this is what I'm looking for. Is it G? Oh, I see bankruptcy. After landing checklist
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
off.
After landing checklist completed.
He's gonna take Golf 9 and watch.
Roger.
Tango 8, Tango. Latin BFR. Be excited to see if Vertical Sim actually, does this for 2020. It'd be sure nice if he did, since he was going to give us a West Palm before, and how'd that work out? Now that AmSim, BM World, or whatever, or AmSim has been identified as a POS, perhaps a little justice is in order. Tango 8 into Tango. Taxi light off, please. Taxi light off. Yeah, I don't know. Captain controls lights. I don't even think I have a GSX. Well, I must have one here. I see bankruptcy. Look at all those new jets. They really needed the merger, but Delta, American United got what they wanted, which was a willing judge, apparently, who was like, oh, I'll do it for the college kids. Well, guess what, pal? You just basically, you're coming close to putting 9,000 people out of work. Good job. Good job, judging. Rather than have some extra competition against Delta, American, and United, the big three, who are all allowed to merge, with no mention of the whatever the hell act it was. Wipers off. Wipers off. This is mood off. I guess we're a little shy. It's supposed to be 20. I'll slide up a little more. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale. parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Set.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
I need to look at this. What was the burn supposed to be? 6.5. We were supposed to have 6.3. So we have 200 to the good. We did get one shortcut. So that's pretty damn close. The A321, on the other hand, ooh boy. Alright, we're not turning this bad boy around. Let's take a quick look at, we'll look at Volanta. And, oh, I'm an idiot. Inflate. It should have caught my landing. It didn't catch my landing. Damn it all. Alright, so we can't look at Volanta, but we can look at the approach report. 10 right. 208. What did that say it was? 322? I don't know about this G's thing, man. What did it say? 322, 12.25 G. 132, which was our ref. So what's this say? 132, pitch 4. Just down the runway a little bit. That was what I would call the tomahawk flare. Like that. Up and down. That's a, I don't know if you can see the side stake, but I'm, you know, let's look at the final approach. Right. Shaded low the whole time. And there's the shift, the late runway shift. I don't know if I believe this thing. I do not know. But what I do know is that we will see you on the next one. From beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida, we'll catch you on the way to JFK in an A321 over at the Echo Gates here shortly. Deuces.